Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. I'm going to do a quick flip through of these two journals, and then we're going to do Watercolor Wednesday. So we're going to start with our autumn journal, and this kit that was used in here is by Joey Cardmaker, and these are envelopes. If you haven't been watching the videos, let me grab a ruler. I can't ever remember everything, I swear. Anyways, 10.5 by 4.5, so they're long and skinny journals. And yes, this kit is Autumn Folk by Joey Cardmaker, and I've tied it with some Sorry. And then on the cover, this image is from Joey Cardmaker, and this little autumn tag. And then these this is my fall fodder digital kit, and then this is one of my die cuts that are in my shop. I just added some Tim Holtz distress oxide to it. This is in Joey's kit, all that. So then when you open it up, it says this journal belongs to, so whoever gets this journal, and I have a plan for these journals, so they aren't going to go in my shop unless something changes, and I will let you know if that happens. But this is one of the envelopes that's in Joey's kit. I've just backed it with book page just to strengthen it a little. It doesn't have anything in it. I just wanted to include it because I had put it together. And this is all Joey's kit, except that leaf is again one of mine. And then you open it here, and there's this little mouse tea card here that I turned into a tuck for one of the lovely tags in the kit. And then here's our little mushroom pocket, and knocking over my glue, and an owl kind of double tag. You can, if you want to, write on, pull it out and write on the sides. That kind of stops it, but you could have a little small secret note here if you wanted to. So that tucks into this pocket that can also be written on. And these are all junk mail envelopes. And so if you want to see from the beginning, there is, it's in a playlist called Trash to Treasure Journals, and there's more than one journal in that playlist, but these are all in order in there. And then there's a little tuck spot there. It's one of those little clusters, so you can write on the back of that. This is all glued down. And that's one of my die cuts, again, from my shop. This is in Joey's kit, Autumn Folk. And then this flips out, and there's a writing spot here. This has all been collaged using Joey's papers. And then over here we have one of the envelopes from his kit. It's sort of a coin envelope style, like so. And you can write on that little tag. It slides down in there. This has been backed with avocado dye. There's another little tuck up here with a tea card, and I've just added a piece of coffee dyed paper so that it flips open and you can have a little more writing space. And that just tucks in there. And this goes over this little blue paper clip to match the owls. And so that closes back up. Then we flip it over, and on this side, this is one of my watercolors, but instead of watercolor paint, I've used distress oxides to get that effect. I need to take this paper clip off again to get this paper out easily. It will come out, but oh, I guess it is shorter. Yeah, this is avocado dye. It has a doily put on it, and this is from Wonderbar Crafts. I don't know if she has any right now, but you can find avocado dye in Etsy. At Etsy, however you're supposed to say that. And then here's one of the journaling cards for the kit. I just put it on this envelope after covering the envelope with the pumpkins. So that just flips out like that. And then there's two tags in here that can be written on, stitched around. They were stitched around. And, this was in the kit as an envelope, but I took it apart because I just loved this print, and then put one of my leaves on there with some cheesecloth. So that flips over, and then here's another one of the journaling cards from the kit. Behind it is some of the papers from the kit. I cut out one of the little ladies and put her there. And then here's just a little pocket that was in the kit. I added one of my doodled acorns there and put some of the pumpkins here. And this is another envelope. I'm sure you can see that. And another little lady in there. It's all stitched around. And I didn't do much of anything to his. Well, actually, this one wasn't one of the. I was thinking this was one of his tags, but it wasn't. That's just an image from the kit. I think it might have been a tag that I cut the top off. Okay, so that slides in there, and then there's one of my leaves from my doodle digital fall fodder doodle, and then some of his mushrooms back there. And this was just one of the pieces of paper, just a scrap left over, but it had those cute mushrooms, so I turned it into a tag. And then we have a couple more pieces from his kit, backed in avocado dye, and that's a little label from Shabby Dabby Doo Dah. And this is one of the tags that's in the kit. I just added a kind of a, they're sort of like, almost like fabric or paper. I don't know. I got them at Hobby Lobby. They're just sleeves. And they look all rusticy like that already, so that's kind of nice. Put those in there. And then this is an avocado dyed envelope. So I pretty much left it in its natural state and covered it with some, this side, with some of the paper from the kit. And then this is another piece. This is coffee dyed paper from Dee Dee Farrago. It's beautiful. She gifted that to me. She's the sweetest ever to do that. Oh my goodness. I know that's a lot of work doing that. I can barely get myself to just do regular coffee dye. So, yeah. That. And then this last piece is also one of my watercolor ephemera pieces that I made before I started this journal, but I just felt like it went well. And this piece flips open this way, and then there is a journaling card in here, if I can get it out, and it's also been watercolored in a very similar manner, and it just slides in there, hopefully. They're a little tight. It's always tricky trying to get, long pockets are tricky with the tags. And this also flips out, so you can write here, you can write here. That's one of my doodled fall fodders. And then this just ties around, just so it's not flopping around, you know, in there. And it says down here, handmade by, and then I signed it, so it's all signed. So that was also in the kit. I did a horrible job, but I'll worry about that in a minute. All right, so that is the autumn one. And then the Halloween one, this is my spooky watercolor digital download that I used in this. A piece of lace to close it. These are all die cuts from my Etsy shop. And then when you open it, in this front pocket, oh, I forgot it has that pocket right there. That's what I forgot to put something in. Well, I'll find something to put in there. We made this playing card together, so there's a video on that. It's an altered playing card. And then this I did in a short video, so that also goes. And one of the feathers I did a watercolor video with feathers. This one I did not in that video, but anyway. And then this goes in here. I think I'll tuck this little, I did this yesterday, just playing around with some scraps of watercolor paper that I had. We'll just put that right in there. And that'll be happy days. I need to fix that. Old paper sometimes. That's old book page that's made out of. Doesn't always want to stick. Stick down. Clipping difficult. It's another good reason to do flip throughs is so you can see, oh my goodness, where your dilemmas are. You know what it is, it's this tape. A lot of times stuff doesn't want to stick to slick surfaces like tape. Okay, so here I have one of my guest checks that I did in the first 50 stack challenge. The prompt was black, and so I thought how fun to do witches, right? But I just hinged it on there. And then there's a little pocket here that has, this is in the Spooky Watercolor kit. This is just a kooky old costume, somebody in a costume for Halloween. And then this is also in the Spooky Watercolor kit. So they're just tucked in that little spot there. And that is a little card that I've had for years. But you can write here because this is muted. So you can write there. I think that'll stick now. And then when you flip this over, this is obviously a junk mail window envelope that has my little haunted house there. And again, that's one of my die cuts. And I just shrunk some of the images from the Spooky Watercolor kit and used them there, and some of my other die cuts there. And this all, it has die cuts and some of the papers from the kits. And then over here we have our funny little ghost, who has a candy corn and a spider that is stealing the rest of his candy corn. He's not happy. That was my story anyway. And then when you open this out, this is Joey Card Maker's. He's got a little freebie kit at Ko-fi. I think I say that wrong. But anyway, that you can go over there and get if you would like it. And then spots to write, but I put the kitty cat there because then the kitty cat peeks through this window envelope too once it's closed up. And then you can see this is another window in the window envelope. And it folds out like so. So you can write here, right here, right here. There's another little pocket. And just all kinds of little goodies. Another, I think I found these on Pinterest. Those old photographs. I think they've been doctored to look extra spooky or whatever, but anyway, that's one of my little clusters that you could put wherever you want if you want it in a different spot. So we'll tuck those there. Oh, and there's this little up tuck. That's Tim Holtz. That's in my watercolor, Spooky Watercolor kit. Let's just go in there. And then here's that kitty cat peeking. I know it's hard to see because of the plastic. But anyways. And there's our Frankenstein gent. You open it up, the witch, just a little journaling spot there, a little spooky ghost. This Spooky Watercolor is done. I did it so it looks like it's on watercolor paper, so it has some texture to it, which is kind of cool. And then when you open that, there's a spot to write. It's a nice writing spot in there, because this doesn't have like normal pages, so you're not getting tons of writing spot, but how much writing spot do you need for a Halloween journal, right? And then we have another one of these, maybe this is the one I did do the other one for a short. I think I did this one for a short as well, but anyway, all these die cuts are in my Etsy shop. And then we did a video on these clusters that I just turned into a tuck. You could put these into a pocket, put them at the top of the page like I did that one. However, you know, you can do loads of things with those little clusters like that. Here's another one of my doodle, fall fodder doodle pieces. Just one of the pieces from the kit tucked in there. This is also a freebie in this digital kit. I watercolored that. Backed it so that it can be written on. And when we come over here, this is just all collaged basically. You could put a photograph there, maybe of a grandchild or something in costume. I know it has an image, but it would be fun to put a picture there. And then a little ghosty there. And this comes out. So this image that you see through this window stays there. It's all glued down. So this just has writing. Nice orange paper there. That tucks in here. That one side's in way easy, which is lovely. And then this is some tissue paper that I did Tim Holtz Distress Oxides on, and a napkin. That's a dollar store napkin. And then she's off to pick pumpkins or something. She's got a bucket, flowers, something. And that is the end. And I haven't signed that one yet. I will sign that. So that will happen. And like I said, I have a plan for these. So They won't be in the shop unless something changes and I decide to put them in the shop. But like I said, I will let you guys know if that happens. All right, so there they are. They are complete, and that was super fun. I really enjoyed it. So what we're going to do today is some things kind of like this. We're not going to do a mushroom today. I did this again this weekend, just playing around with some scraps. I just had these little pieces of watercolor paper left, and I don't want to waste them. So we're going to do something kind of like that. I have two little sketches. This one's like blackberries. And this one, it goes this way, is a branch and acorns. And I did do a sketch of these two. This one was finished before I even thought of this, so I did not include a mushroom, but mushrooms are fairly easy. You can sketch out, just those long lines and then this funny little cap at the top. All right, so we're going to play around and do these. I'm going to start with this one just in case I don't have time to do another one, just because of doing the flip throughs and all that. So I don't want to hog your whole day up. But how you guys doing? Wow, I finally took a breath. I want to say hugs and blessings to Beverly, Nan, and who else did I write down? Beverly, Nan, and Sandy. There's two Sandys. This is Sandy O. And then a super thanks to Sandy K. Okay, so just get everybody straight there. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, I think I might use this little bit larger one to do this leaf. So this is an 8. This is a 3. And this came with these watercolors. It's like a whole set of things. You get brushes and travel brushes and all kinds of stuff. I just wanted a small something, so I think that'll work. The only thing, it's got kind of a weird tip on it, but we'll see. We shall see. And I've wet my watercolors. It's always good to spray them first. I did it once already, but we're going to do it again just so that make sure they're wet. They just work better if they're wet. And I haven't mixed anything yet. I barely got this much done, so barely got this far today. Some days, I'm telling you. So how are you guys? I hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic. I am doing pretty good. Just trucking along with my day. We have a friend coming this weekend, so if there's any days you guys don't see me, that's why. I will be, doing stuff to get ready for that. It's actually a friend. I mean, him and his wife are also my friend. I don't mean that. It's just the boys are going to go ride quads or something this weekend, so his wife isn't coming with him. So I will be working, which is fine. I got plenty of stuff to get caught up on. So you can do these leaves however you want. You can make them look more fallish by I'm putting some brown in there. Or you can do them bright, like do the acorns even green if you want to, like they're fresh and new. I want to maybe put this in the fall journal I'm going to start, so as a tag. So I thought that it would be fun. I'm going to use my Autumn 1910 digital download, the new one, to do this journal, and it has all the beautiful fall colors, and so I wanted to do it's just some fall easy kind of watercolor paintings to go in there, because that is super fun. And I started my watercolor adventure because of the Creative Cove, so I do want to give her a shout out. She does amazing things with watercolor. I mean, she is super talented with the painting. Oh, I just totally went out of the lines there. That was beautiful. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but seriously. That was like, what is the muscle in my hand a-doing? So anyways, but yeah, Michelle is her name at the Creative Cove. I like to give her a shout out because she does beautiful things for journals, using watercolored images and things that she's done. And she's a very good artist. I mean, I'm an artist, but I'm not as good on the fly like she is, you know, just draw anything right now, like boom. That's hard for me. I need to look at stuff and I don't know. So anyhow, she's very talented, so definitely check her out if you have not. Very lovely lady. Yeah. So that's kind of what got me started on this watercolor adventure, was because I was like, oh, that is fun to do some actual, not that other stuff isn't art, not that collage isn't art, I don't mean that at all, because all of that is art. I just mean a different thing to use in journals is fun. Because I think we all get kind of in our ruts, you know? At least I do, feel like. So it's nice to, you know, do some other stuff that you normally might not. And really, especially with like these leaves and things like this, you can just do them however you like, really. I mean, you don't have to be super precise. If you don't want to, you can make them very loose. I tend to be kind of probably more of a tight painter. I'm not as loose, but a lot of that is I'm new to this. Like this isn't my normal thing. I mean, I have painted before, yes, but there are just other things that I'm much more comfortable doing. So anyway, get our little acorn. I think they're just a tiny bit more red on the bottom and more of a brown cap, I believe is how they seem to look to me. And I can't seem to stay in the lines today. A little out is not a problem, just because that sort of gives you that watercolor feel, I feel like. That's probably not going to come off either. Well, that's how that is. That's how it shall remain. All right. I'm come and do this one. And I just did the whole pencil trick, you know, drew those out, sketched them out how I wanted them, and then I put a pencil on the back and transferred it to watercolor paper, basically. You can use carbon paper, whatever you got. That's just what I have. I don't have any carbon paper, so. And then I did, obviously, as you can see, go over these beforehand with ink. Sorry, drew a total blank there. So yeah, you can do it that way, or you can wait till after, like I do quite often, to do the ink. Totally however you want. I may go do a little more after the fact. We'll see. But I love this time of year. My most favorite. I'm not gonna lie about that. I love the colors. I love leaves, pumpkins, all of it. So yeah, definitely right up my alley. This whole thing. Oh, you know what? I should probably scoot in a little bit more. I was way out so that you guys could see those journals because they're so tall. So yeah. So I hope you guys are doing well, staying cool, or whatever the thing is. We're cooling off a whole lot at night, which is making me ultra happy. It's hot right now today, but we're supposed to cool down a bunch coming up the end of this week, I guess. So that will be very nice. My daughter will be ecstatic. marching band in the heat isn't super fun, so she'll be really happy that it's cooling down a touch. Not a ton, just a little. Put a little bit of that orangey reddish color in there. Shove it around a little bit. Show it who's boss, right? Okay, and we're gonna go darker for the branches just so that we can, you know, see them well. Have some juxtaposition there. So now my daughter's windshield cracked. I'm like, I'm about ready to punt, honestly. I mean, it's not dire at this minute, but it's just one of those things, you know, it's got to get fixed because it'll be all the way across and you can't see a darn thing and blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, well, who needs money, right? You don't need money. Silliness. I'm telling you. So anyway, now we'll have to figure that out too. Luckily, I do have insurance, thank goodness. Not that we're going to cover all of it, but I'll take anything that will help. That is the truth. When it rains, it pours, right? But her car is running, so that's the good. She can get to school, which is the main concern. Thankfully, right now, she is not doing her restaurant job because, oh, that's the bottom part of that leaf. I was wondering why that leaf was so weird right there. Yeah, that part is supposed to be leaf. Sorry about that. I just realized it comes all the way like this. I was like, that leaf looks weird. This is why. We forgot part of it. Okay, so now we're going to do the top of the acorn caps. Thinking go with something like this. I thought I was going to need that little tiny brush, but I think this one's just fine. And again, that's a 8 round. But you can use whatever works for you. If you want to do this image this bigger, you could do it bigger. I'm just doing it, you know, so I can have it on a tag. But you can do it however you wish. Okay. I'm trying to find, I just want a little. Okay, so we'll get that one dry. I guess we're not doing too bad for time. We'll let this one sit and we'll play with this one and then see what we can do. Now, probably, I don't know a ton about blackberries. I mean, we do have them in our area. I just have never, like, grown them. So, like, I'm not a real aficionado on this. But, for the sake of art, I'm going to do these a little bit like these leaves are drying up a little bit, and I don't know, they probably wouldn't have blackberries unless they were shriveling up maybe, but we're just going with it, okay? Because I want them to have a little bit of a fall-ish look. So that's the plan anyway. But of course you can do all the leaves just bright and happy. Get rid of some water. And then I'm going to do almost a black for the stem part. I mean, it's going to have some brown, but too much water. And then there are little leaves at the top of the blackberry. And then, of course, they're not totally black. They're, if I can find the right color, kind of purplish black, very, very dark purple black. Just have to find the right one that I like. And then also, before they ripen, they're kind of red, as far as I know. Like I said, I eat blackberries, but I usually get them when they're black. So I'm not exactly super knowledgeable on that. I'm going to leave kind of some white spots on them. Sort of want to try, it's kind of difficult on something this small, especially if your eyesight's as great as mine, to kind of leave the white spot sort of on the same side, just so that that's where the sun looks like it's coming from, you know. So for me, I'm leaving it kind of on that left side a little bit. Which I know can be easier said than done, like I said, when something's so tiny that you're working on. Do a few on this one in that sort of red, since they're a little smaller. Shaky hands in this small of a painting is probably not smart. And I just added a teeny bit more purple. So it's kind of like there's just a spot that's not really ripe yet. Something like that. Too much water. I'm just dabbing off on a paper towel because I got too much water. Once you get too much water, you need to let it alone, but because I'm doing a video, that makes it really hard to do. One right up here. Okay. I'll take some actual black. Kind of go in between just a little in some spots. I don't want to cover up those white spots entirely. Just want to get maybe a little in there to darken those spots a little bit. Sorry, I do get super concentrating when I get doing these things I'm not used to. Oh, hi Pasha, did you get up from your nappy? Little nappy cat? Usually sleeps most of the day. I know, you're up. That's excellent. Little guy. Oh yeah, the motorcycles are here. I really don't mind motorcycles at all. Like, people who ride motorcycles, I know a lot of them are just super awesome people. So if you ride one, I'm not bagging. I'm just, my particular neighbor, they tend to be very loud with them and rev a lot and things like that. And that just gets on my last nerve, no matter who you are. I'm not noise and I are not besties. So yeah. That's my issue. It's not the motorcycle riders. I think because I grew up in such a small, quiet town that I don't know. Noise, I don't know. That's on my... And it doesn't take much, let me tell you. I think those are good. I think I'll get those dry and then we'll come back and do some of this stuff. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I grabbed a couple stamps that we're going to use on these, but first, which I should have done before I got it dry, but I didn't do it. We're going to take, actually, you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to go around these with some ink first because I don't want to drag my hands through stuff. So I want to do just a little more inking. Some of my crazy little line things and such. Things and such. Yeah, that. And I'll show you closer in just a second. I liked them the way they were too, but I just like to do this. And if you don't need to. I just think it's fun. Okay, so just, you know, that kind of thing all on there, just because I want to. I like it. I'm going to not do as much on this one, just because it's really hard to see with all those little berries, but we'll do a little on the leaves and stuff. That's all I'm going to do on that one. Alright, so what we're going to do around the edge, I'm sure you can guess because you saw the other one. We're going to go ahead and put some ink around the edge. Or not ink. That's what we usually use, is ink. But I'm going to use watercolor instead of ink. So you can choose your color at will. And if you do this, like scrape the paintbrush, you get those little extra bits, which are kind of fun. You know, they give you just a little more paint there. Do a little more in the corners if you want. Thinner spots, thicker spots. It looks good because then it doesn't look like you just... I mean, you can just go straight down. If that's the look that you like, that cleaner look, then yeah, definitely just go straight down. But I just like to have some, almost looks like you mixed up a little bit or whatever. I think with this one, I like to do some splatters. I am going to do some in this color, but I'm also going to do gold, I think. Just because of our topic, you know, the kit that I'm using and all that, I just think a little bit of gold will look elegant, which I kind of feel like that kit is a little like that. So I have my gold paint here. And this is just Hobby Lobby gold paint. It's nothing expensive or fancy. Just gold paint. Yeah, that's a little too thick. I'm probably getting it all over my shirt and not on the painting. That seems to be what I do. And then you can come back to your edges if you want to, add a little bit more. I'm not even going to worry about that blob, because if I try to make it smaller, I'll just make it worse. Now you'll really see my shaky hand. That really gets it going. Just a little more right here. And right there. And then I'm going to stop on that one, go to the next one, and we'll come back and decorate that one more. So on this one, I don't want to use the same colors. So this is the awesome part about using watercolor, because you can make them whatever color you want. It's just not very wet, so it's not wanting to cooperate. Okay. And then I'm going to splatter with that color too. And do the gold again. You could do some gold paint on the, you know, berries or the leaves or whatever as well if you wanted. Get my brush clean, set this aside. I'm going to have to get those dry, so I'll be right back again. Okay, I'm back and they're dry, so we have some postage stamps. This one with the mushroom is a washi stamp that I actually got on a package that I got or received, and so I just took it off and glued it and put it back on that. So we're going to use postage stamps because that's what I have. And we're going to ink them a little bit. I can pick them up. This is sort of like turning your watercolor into mixed media. This one I might have to tear just a little. I think I'll tear off of this side just a skosh, because it's just not going to fit the full thing. But as we know, those get ripped very often. I think I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and these are just stamps that I bought, a whole bag of them. Can't remember what the place is called now. But if you look on Etsy, they're pretty easy to find. Postage stamps that aren't, you know, worth anything. They're just fun to put on ephemera. The colors of these were fabulous for this. I almost grabbed the water. Water would not glue the postage stamp on anymore. It doesn't have any any good glues left. And then we're going to take a stamp. I might use this one for the smaller one. This is a quarter, but don't matter. It don't matter none. And then I think I'll use this Tim Holtz one that I used on the mushroom. Might turn it a little. Why not? Why not? I don't know, it just adds a cool, I just like it. If you don't want to stamp yours, don't stamp it. You don't have to do it the way I do it. It's just an idea. I don't know what this one. I think I'll put it here. Okay. I think that that's good for those. Trying to decide, do I want anything else? Maybe just one of these, the bottom of this. Yeah. Just adds a little extra something over there. All right, there we have it for today. And like I said, as long as I don't mess anything up, that sketch will be in the description box below the video. As just, you can download it and use it in a way you like. I would love to see what you do with them. So that's our blackberries and our acorns, and those, like I said, are going to go in the new autumn journal. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you again soon. Love you. Bye.